Hey guys, before I start the video, I want to say welcome to my channel. I named my channel D-Lo because that's what my friends call me, but my name is D'Angelo. I'm 22, I'm an aspiring writer, and I want to go to film school one day. I'm going to be covering everything from film analysis, TV review, TV, anime, anything pop culture related you can expect on the channel. Thank you for watching. Let's get started. So, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. This movie was directed by Francis Lawrence, starring Tom Blythe as the eventual President Snow and Rachel Zegler as Lucy Gray. This film was a prequel to Snow's rise to power and how he became the man he is. You know, it's shocking seeing his path to evil, considering how he starts in this movie. So it's a little jarring when you see it like that. Not jarring in necessarily a bad way, but it definitely is like a black and white type of comparison. I only read the first Hunger Games book, like elementary school. I didn't read the rest of the books. I never managed to get to them during that whole era of like young adult films, like The Maze Runner, Divergent, all of that. Honestly, it was just too much to read. Anyway, so while I'm not a diehard Hunger Games fan, this is my take of the film. Going into the movie, me and my girlfriend saw the trailers for the film. I remember being pretty excited for it. I thought the cinematography looked great, and I was like, I'm excited to see Pan Am again. So I was pretty hyped to see the movie, which leads me to what I liked and what I didn't like. So we follow Tom Blythe's character, Snow, and I love how we kind of get to see the hierarchy of the capital, because we didn't really get to see that in the rest of the film, so it's pretty refreshing to get that new take, because we saw the other districts, but we didn't really get to see how the inner capital how the inner capital really works. I thought Francis Lawrence did a great job. He worked on the last few Hunger Games films. There was a lot of wide shots, though, but overall I thought it was pretty good from the directing standpoint. I thought Tom Blythe was great. He played early Snow pretty to the T. I thought he did a great job as a lead. Anytime he was on the film, I was pretty excited and engaged. I thought Rachel Zegler was good. Her acting was pretty solid for the most part, but to me, I feel like the weakness was definitely in her character. I don't think she was the most compelling character, and she definitely sang a little too much. I found myself struggling to really connect with why she has to win, like why she personally has to survive the games. Overall, she was fine, not great. I thought she was just okay. Although her and Tom Blythe had amazing chemistry throughout the film. Like, they definitely were a match in the film. I don't know, I just wish she had a bigger arc, I guess, in the film. Viola Davis was great, as always. She always is. You could tell she had fun in the role. But even though she came off as a goofy supervillain at times, if you see it. Peter Dinklage was awesome. Great to see him. Love him in Game of Thrones. I just wish we had more of him, though. Hunter Schafer was also in this film. She was great. It's great to see her. I just wish, we had more of her. She was kind of a sideline in this movie. Definitely not her best role, but she's in Euphoria, so who cares, right? I do like Snow's friend in this movie, Sejanus. I think he was an interesting parallel to Snow's character, and like the personality-wise, they're like complete opposites, and there's a pretty interesting dynamic between them on the screen. This movie is at its best when it's in the games. Like, the pacing's great when they're in the games, the fighting. And I think that goes for all the Hunger Games films. They're definitely at its peak when they're actually inside the games. And this one's different because you get to see how it really started from back then to now, to present day in the Hunger Games with Katniss, because it's way different. Like, the technology's different. You can kind of see how they've revolutionized like the games in Katniss's time. The cruelness of the capital definitely comes through still. You kind of see how it all starts and ends. From that weird experimentation with the Jabberjays to how they use them in Mockingjay Part 2 with all the weird different animals that come out of nowhere. You get the start of that in this film. My biggest gripe with this film is the third act. Since this movie is a prequel, we all know how Snow comes out in the future, so the movie kind of sprints to that in the end. In my opinion, Snow's choices started becoming irrational and kind of felt a little out of character. Not completely out of character, but it definitely was a little bit of a reach, and it didn't feel justified that he'd really make the choices he was making, especially in the third act. Even with him killing characters and a big portrayal that I don't really think was a complete payoff yet with Sejanus. And I guess it fits this title being, A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, with Lucy Gray being a songbird and Snake being Snow being the snake. You can probably argue for his choices and debate it, but I don't know. To me, it just didn't feel earned because they were just rushing. Overall, I did like the film. A big way I could tell if I enjoy the film is if I regret spending the money to go see it. Movie tickets aren't exactly cheap nowadays, but For me, it was worth it. I was excited to see it from the trailers to now. I don't really consider myself a big Hunger Games fan, but, I enjoyed the movies overall. And I think Hunger Games fans will be satisfied by this one, even if you're somebody like me who hasn't read, every single book. I thought the performances were pretty solid. The directing's pretty solid for me. The writing could have been a little more tight, but it wasn't like a complete turn off, I guess. But it was fine. Movie was fine. If I were to rank the Hunger Games films, I think it would be Catching Fire #1, the original first one #2, and then maybe I might put this one third. Then the Mockingbird Part 2, or Mockingjay Part 2, and Mockingjay Part 1 is the worst one for me. I probably would give this movie like a 7 out of 10. That's probably my final rating for it. Yeah, but I missed the Hunger Games. I don't know if they have more books coming out or more movies, but I always love them on film. But guys, if you liked the video, please like and subscribe. I have plenty of content coming. This is my very first video, so thank you for watching. In the comments, let me know how you'd rank the Hunger Games films. Have you seen it? Did you like it? What'd you hate about it? Take care, everybody. I should have another video coming out next week, so stay tuned. Peace.